me in front of the camera, and I've got Karen to the side of me.
Hello.
So she's going to tell me all the bits I forget to tell you. And today we're going to be putting together our round boxes with lids. So this is the smaller version. So this would be like about a 1 in 20, 124 scale. So, and you get get the top, the lid at the base, and you get a little handle if you want a little handle on it. Okay, and that's that one. And this one's the next size up, and this would be about the 1 in 12. Okay, and these are the size they come in the dies, but you can cut them down to make them shorter if you want to. So you can have a little shorter one like that for a smaller hat, like a hat box, or a cat box even. Okay, and as Karen pointed out, if you take the lid off and just have the handle on, you've got a little basket that you can use for flowers or chocolates or sweets or little goodies. Okay, so we can do that, and then you can decorate them with little ribbons, little pom-poms. Okay,
miniature flowers.
Yeah, miniature flowers. Yeah. Okay, a bit of rick-rack. And double-sided card is fantastic with this. So your graphic 45 is perfect for this sort of thing. Okay, and this is a little bit of graphic 45 to show the point. So because you've got nice inside as well, and then with ribbon on as well on the outside. So the list is endless, and then you can also. Ooh, you can put chocolate in them. So this one is for a couple, but you've got 2. And these are mini, I found mini Rolos in a pack. So the little ones fit that perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put one together, and then I'm going to show you how to resize it. So I'm going to do the bigger one first. So you've got your die plates. Do we want to...
Nice. See?
Okay. So, right, so you've got your die plates. I'll put your die plates on here so you can see them better. So you've got your large one here, and you've got your smaller one. So what you've got is, you've got your lids, which are these ones. You've got the little thin there, that's your handles. And these ones are your bases. So they're cut out to that height, but you can shorten them afterwards if you want to, so if you want them narrower. Then you've also got 4, on each side, you've got 4 circles. And each of these 4 circles are slightly different. So you've got a large one, then you've got a smaller one, and you've got 2 in between. And all 4 will be slightly different to the others. I'll show you that in a minute. And the other thing is, these ones here are, the largest one here is for your for your lid, and then you can put that over. So if you've got a piece of colour, I've got a scrap here, but you can put it over, and then you can put it over a flower or something like that. So you can got.
So the ones with the holes in are to be able to level it up with decoration.
Yeah.
So you can pinpoint which part of decoration
if you want. Yeah. So the bigger one is the one that goes on top of the lid, and then the smaller one goes on the base. So you might not want to do it on the base, but you want to do it on the top of the lid. So it's the bigger one out of the 2 will be the base. Will be the top of the lid. Okay, and it's both on the same.
And it's fantastic to see them on a plate.
So
you're never ever going to lose. How many dies have we all got that we lose little bits of it? With it being on a plate, you've got one die and it cuts the
That's why I did it, because you need the 4 circles, and you tend to lose these things. So that's why that's on the one plate. Yeah. So it does make it slightly more expensive because you've got a lot of metal there. But however, that is the reason why.
You'll never have to buy it twice to replace it.
No, you wouldn't. No, exactly. So what we're going to do is going to put one together. So I've cut one out.
It's underneath the board.
Thank you. That's what Karen's here for.
I know what happens to me.
So I've cut one out. So it will depend on your die cutting machine. Sometimes they cut out. What there is you might not be able to see it on here. There's an embossed line here, which should come onto here, but it's not come out on my die cutting machine. My machine hasn't done it, so not enough pressure. So what you can do is you just put it back in to your die, and you just lock it into place, and then use your pencil tool just to go over it again. And that gives you your embossed line, and you also need it at the other end as well, because that's important too.
That could happen when you're using paper or cardstock.
Yeah.
Cardstock you probably would emboss, but paper
sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes doesn't.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure you can actually see. You can see that on there actually, but anyway, what I'll just do then, if I bend that,
see how easily it bends.
You'll see where the crease is. So I can see it. I can see it, but I'm not quite sure if it comes out on the camera. So what I do is I tend to do it with my fingers like that. So it's all bent over like that. So And to get that a nice, good, sharp edge. Okay, like that. And then I use my pencil tool.
Or your mini pencil tool.
Mini pencil tool. I'm using the bigger one, but you can use the mini one as well. And you've got a nice sharp crease on there. And then you can just open these out. So these are your little flappy bits. So you can just open those out. Like that. Okay, and then what I tend to do then is I use this and I just stretch the paper tad just to warm it through so it bends nicely. So you want it nice and smooth. You want a nice smooth round. You don't want any, you know, sometimes you get a little crease in there.
Yes,
so
yeah. If you
do
break
this,
the fibres and smooth it round,
yeah,
it'll fold crease as opposed to just curve.
Yeah. So you want a nice curve on here, right? So it's important that you have your. You can just hide it. So
that bent over absolutely.
Yeah, so you can see where that is there. So that's important for where you're going to put your glue. Okay, so your glue goes up to that line, and then you stick it to that line. So this is my base. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. I'm going to spread it out on my finger so it's even all the way around. And make sure you have glue down that little piece there. Okay, I'll show you why in a sec. Okay, then you're going to bring that round. And then glue that together, like so.
So spreading the glue actually makes it thinner and get into the fibres, and will also help it catch quicker.
Yeah.
Than being a blob.
Yeah. You get a nice even seam as well.
Yes.
So squidge that down, and you want to make sure that it's nice and smooth down here as well. And then what I'm going to do is then get my pencil tool and just give it a little swage on here, so a little bit burnish on here, so then that seam's nice and flush. Okay, and then
you can see the beautiful curve that you've got by shaping that first
so you've
before
got
trying to.
Yeah, can you see that it goes like that? Okay, so that's your base, and then the lid is exactly the same. So I'm just going to go into here. So I've just lock it into place. I'm just going to make sure that I can see my.
I would never have thought of doing that idea of re-popping it into the die to reiterate the creasing line.
Yeah, as you can see it a bit better there. I'm not quite sure if you can actually see on the thing. Oh, you go. I think you can just about see it. If I just move that around, there you go. I think you can just about see it there. Okay, so I move that out of the way, and then I'm just going to. It's a bit more. This one's a bit more marked. I can see it.
Folding over, absolutely amazing with that crease line, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what the crease line's for. So, and you need the crease line in that place. Yeah, it did take a lot of work. There was a lot of prototypes for these.
Just getting it to the right height without it going as a cut line, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a fine line, and especially being a miniature.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Absolutely essential.
Okay, so then I'll just open these out. Oops, I'm going to go in there and open these out. There we go. Open these out, and then I'm just going to warm these up through. Just warm them up again. Okay, so getting that nice curve, and then I'm just going to not bend it sharp, but I'll just see where that curve is, and then I'm going to glue it like that again. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could use your distress inks just to edge the to ink the edges if you wanted to. So I've got a nice even coat on there. I'll just close this one up. Now again, give that a little bit of a swage. Get that seam nice and sharp, nice and blended in. Okay, and then so now I'm going to put the bases, the lids on, the lids on both of these. So you've got that bit there like that. So like that. So it's important that this bit here is stuck down. Now, can you see that? I've got a little tiny bit of a bit come out there because it's not quite stuck down in the right place. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit more. Can you see where that is? Like that. There we go. Like that. Can you see?
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a tiny bit more glue.
Tweezers to hold it.
If you need tweezers to hold it, then have tweezers. But just that tiny bit. It just makes a bit of a difference to the final thing. And then squidge that. That's it, and get that nice and smooth. So I'll give that a good squidge. So that's now ready to put the tops on. So what I'm going to do is get my circles, and then I'm going to make sure I find out which is which. So I'll find out which is the biggest one. So that one is the biggest one.
So you have two that will look almost identical.
They all look very similar. Oops, they all look very similar.
Two big ones look identical and the two small ones do, but you have to really see the tiny difference in them, don't you?
Right, so...
And that's the precision of how
So
you'll make
if I open that up, you can see that's a difference there. So I've got they're flush there, and then if I open that, you can just see there's a slight difference in there. It's not even a millimetre, it's very slight.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to still do the same with the other two. Like that. So that is quite a big difference there. Can you see that difference there? So if I can put all four together to make sure I've got the right ones, because what might happen is I need to make sure that I've got them in the right order, which I don't think I have actually. No, because the one from behind, I'll put that there, and then turn that one over, as you can see, because there we go, that's better. There we go. Right, so I've got them flush here, flush there, and then you can see that that's the biggest one, then the next one, then the next one, and the next one. But
what a wonderful way of showing it, because it is so slight, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's basically the thickness of your paper. That is what it is. Because I wanted the lids to fit properly. I didn't want you to fudge it at all. So I didn't want you to make the lids a tad bigger from the die, because that's just annoying. I put them in order, so that's the smallest, then the next one, then that one, and that's the biggest one. So these two here are going to be for your lid, and these two are going to be for your base. So the smallest one goes on the inside of your base. So if you've got double-sided card or paper, just put that in. Oops. And that fits in. Let me get that down. Like that. Okay, and then you turn it over and it looks like that. So then I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I'll just put a little bit of glue underneath.
So with it being a miniature, it's not having to put each individual tooth on.
No,
you can do it like that.
No, you can do.
That's going to make life so much more easier.
Yeah,
as
that's why,
it?
because they're shaped, so they fold in like that. Okay, so that's that one. Then the next one, I'm going to put this on the outside. So then I put glue on the base of it like that. Okay, and that fits in like that, and then that should fit nice and snug across here like that. Okay, so hold that in place. So you've got that in the right place. Just hold that in place for a few secs. Then you can turn it over. Okay, like that. And then you can get your Teflon tool. You get your mini one or the big one I've got. And just go into the corners and swage it in. So that make sure the glue is nice. And then you can just push it in like that. And then you have a nice base for that.
That is really so quick. I expected it to be much.
Oh no! No, that's why it takes ages.
Yeah.
I do it so it is simple to do. Because if you've got a lot of boxes to do, so if you've got a hat shop for a start, you'll have a lot of boxes. So that's your base, okay. And then we're going to do the lid. So the lid's going to be exactly the same. So I put that flush down like that, and I put that in there.
So the smaller one goes to the inside.
Yeah, the smaller one at the tip. Yeah.
Piece of paper's.
Yeah.
Size,
so, yeah. It's marginally. It is that tiny bit difference, but that's the reason why I put them on the plate, because you just lose them otherwise. And well, let's face it, one round
also
die
you
looks
would
much
end
like
up not knowing which one was which. You know, when you've got all four out, you know that's the full box cut out.
Yeah, and you've got other dies. We've got other dies, round dies with our sets, and let's face it, one round die, and this looks much like another. So
it does, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the biggest one. So this is the one that goes on top of the lid. So I think I'm going that way around. So let's put a bit of glue on this side. Oh, and that's a lunch van. I've already bought lunch, so that's good. Okay, that goes on like that. Okay, and then so you can see it just fits on there. You can just move, because you've glued it. You can just manipulate it around. So just so it's. Make sure that gets in there like that. So you just push that little bit in there so it's nice and smooth round. Okay, when you're happy with that, just turn it over, and then you can just then swage it in, so then the base fits in.
Just having a little bit of patience to make to let the glue stick, isn't it?
Yeah, it just needs a few seconds. It doesn't need long. Okay, and then what I'll probably do is I'll just hold it for a little bit longer, and then that will fit.
Wow.
Like that. Okay, and then if you want
perfect precision fitting.
if you want to, then you can get your lid, your strip that you do for the handle, and you can put your handle on. So it has got a little tiny weeny. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a tiny weeny pierce point in there. So if you wanted to, you could put a tiny weeny brad if you had one.
Wow, it has.
It has a little tiny one there. So or you can put a little sticker or something. You know, like
one of the
like a little washer type thing.
The glossy gems that they do
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. So I'll put this on the lids, or you can put it on here and then move it across. But if Karen's idea, you've got a bucket. So you do that. You can have it as a bucket if you want to.
Basket.
Yeah, basket. Yeah. If you manage to do something with a pivot on it, you can have it that, and you can have that on the lid, and you can lift it up like that. If you have it on as a pivot. But I'm just going to stick it. I'm just going to stick it to the top for now. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Go across. Okay, and then I'm going to show you another one. I'm going to do a smaller one, and then I'm going to show you how you can resize it. So you don't have to have this height. So you can resize it if you want to. So I'll just put that on there, and I'll hold that for a few minutes, and then okay, I'm just going to show you now how to size this for a little Rolo. Okay, so I'm going to make the base a little bit narrower. So I've creased this up for the base. Okay, and then what I do then is swage it like I did before. Okay, so that's going to be the height of my box. So my Rolo is going to be up to that point there, which is quite convenient because it's on paper that I can do. So I can just make a note there, and I'm going to cut it by a pair of scissors. So I want to go right across here. So it just happens that this paper works well for this. But you can use a pair of scissors, trimmer or guillotine would be more accurate than this. Okay, so that's going to be my height of my box. So I'll put that together in a sec. And then I also want to do the same for the lid. So I'm going to make the lid a little bit, and in fact I'm going to use that. It's going to be nice on the lid. So that's going to be the lid. So you got a different shape on here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that as well. So I'm just going to make that a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to use the edge of my die just to cut this down to about there, because you don't want the lid to be bigger than the base. So cut that off, and then there we go. Now just cut to my pencil line. Okay. If you use a trimmer, it will be straighter than me cutting. And then on this end here, we've got a little tab. I just take that little corner off, and I'll do the same on the other one. So it just makes it a little nicer. So you've got your little embossed line there. Just take it up to that point there. Okay. So that's how you can just resize your box. So what I'll do is I'll make my box up. Okay, so I've made the box up. So we put our little Rolo in there, close the lid, and then we can give it to somebody we love. So, do you love anybody enough to leave them to the last Rolo? Thank you for watching.